My beloved child, the quiet action you have just taken revealed such profound purity that I want you to pause and recognize the sacred value present within that very choice. Perhaps you considered it only a small act, a decision no one witnessed, or a moment when you chose what was right without expecting anything in return. But I, Archangel Michael, saw your heart in that moment. You did not act to be praised. You did not try to create a good image before the world. And you did not calculate what you might receive in return. You simply followed the gentle calling of compassion. That sincerity opened a profound change, not as a mysterious gate that should make you afraid, but as a new door within you where faith, compassion, and maturity have begun to meet. What you did may have been forgiveness that no one knew about, a prayer for someone who once caused you pain, a decision to turn away from wrongdoing, or an act of kindness towards someone who could never repay you. Perhaps you restrained a bitter word even while you remained wounded, or chose to help someone while you yourself were lacking. The world often measures value through what can be seen, but I look at the motive hidden behind your action. A good deed performed in secret carries a different weight from words spoken in search of recognition. It reveals that you are leaving behind the former version of yourself who was governed by pain and becoming someone capable of choosing light even when no one is standing there to witness it. Yet you do not need to press a button or leave a sign upon a screen in order to activate grace. Heaven does not distribute blessing according to likes, comments, or the way you respond to content. What opened the door was the sincerity with which you live. If you want to answer my words, continue preserving that goodness through practical choices. Keep the promises you make. Treat vulnerable people with kindness. Remain honest in your work. And stop returning to habits that take away your peace. Each day you choose what is right, while no one is watching. The good current within your life grows stronger. This is not because you are purchasing a miracle, but because you are becoming mature enough to recognize, receive, and preserve it when it appears. I know you have waited a very long time. There were requests you repeated through many seasons. Yet the answer did not come in the way you expected. You watched others enter something good while you remained before closed doors. You wondered whether you had been forgotten, whether your effort still mattered. And at times you questioned your own worth. Silent nights grew longer, while hope sometimes remained only as a small flickering light. Yet even in exhaustion, you never completely surrendered. You continued walking, sometimes very slowly, sometimes with enough strength for only one small task, but you still moved forward. That quiet perseverance created a foundation you have not yet been able to see fully. What you endured was not punishment sent because you were not good enough. I also do not want you to believe that every wound was intentionally arranged to test you. Some pain came from another person's wrong choices, from unfair circumstances, and from realities of life that could not be avoided. Yet, regardless of the cause, you can still recover meaning from what happened. Betrayal taught you to distinguish promises from actions. Loss helped you understand what is truly precious. Seasons of loneliness showed you that your worth cannot be built upon the inconsistent presence of others. What hurt you does not need to become the place where you remain forever. It can become a lesson that helps you enter the future with clearer eyes. The delay you experienced does not necessarily mean that you were rejected. If certain things had arrived too early, You might have received them with a heart still too dependent upon recognition. You might have used success to prove something to those who once dismissed you, used abundance to fill an inner emptiness, or handed something precious to people who had not learned how to value it. Waiting helped you understand that a miracle is not merely possessing more, but also the ability to live peacefully with what you have. Use resources responsibly, and refuse to let success cause you to forget gratitude. The greatest preparation was not taking place around you, but in the way you came to understand yourself and the world. I want you to know that your name does not need to be engraved upon a secret scroll in order to possess value. Your worth was already visible in the way you preserved compassion after passing through severe seasons. Not everyone can experience pain without becoming a person who causes pain to others. You have had moments of anger. You have stumbled. And you may have spoken words you later regretted. But deep within you remained a desire to live better. You know how to return and correct what was wrong, how to apologize, and how to ask where you still need to grow. This is more precious than any title. Holiness is not found in never making mistakes, but in the courage to acknowledge them honestly, change, and continue walking toward the light. The miracle approaching may not resemble what you imagined. It may not arrive through an event that captures the world's attention, but through a suitable career door, a sincere encounter, or an answer that helps you escape a place of stagnation. The miracle may also be the day you realize that the past no longer controls you, that you can speak about a wound without trembling, or that you have become strong enough to refuse the place that once harmed you. Do not limit goodness to a single form. When you search for only one kind of answer, you may overlook the many other ways renewal is approaching. Protect what is forming through privacy and wisdom. Not everyone needs to know every plan the moment it begins. Some people will look at your dream through the limitations of their own lives and unintentionally plant doubt within you. Yet privacy does not mean isolation. You still need trustworthy people who can offer sincere guidance and help you recognize risks. Choose companions according to consistency, not merely beautiful speech. Someone sincere will not pressure or control you, nor make you feel guilty when you establish boundaries. They will respect your growth and rejoice when you enter something good, even when they receive no benefit from it. My beloved child, what is opening before you does not require you to run in panic in order to preserve it. What belongs to light will not be closed simply because you need time to think. Yet do not continue delaying what your heart already knows must be done. Finish unfinished work. Care for your health. Put your finances in order. And stop giving your strength to useless arguments. If you desire a new chapter, create room for it by releasing what has expired. If you desire respect, begin by refusing treatment that damages your dignity. Readiness is not found in a grand declaration, but in the small changes you sustain each day. I witnessed your quiet choice and rejoiced because you refused to allow what you endured to define the way you treat the world. Continue on that road, but do not become proud or imagine that you are better than others. Remain humble, because every good act you perform is also a seed, helping you become a deeper person. What you receive in the future will not be given only to make your life easier, but also so that you can support those passing through circumstances similar to what you once endured. Pain that has been healed can become compassion, and lessons you have learned can become light for someone else's path. Therefore, Open your heart to the miracle without treating it as a reward for suffering. You do not need to endure more pain in order to prove that you are worthy. See what is approaching as an invitation into a more mature life, where you know how to receive without guilt, give without emptying yourself, and love while still maintaining boundaries. I, Michael, remain near you, not to force you to cling to a message through fear, but to remind you that your recent good choice marked a genuine transition. Continue walking with purity, wisdom, and peace. What you planted in secret is beginning to bear fruit. And when the time arrives, you will understand that the greatest miracle was not only the gift sent toward you, but also the compassionate, discerning, and steady person you became throughout the waiting. My beloved child, understand that this moment carries deep meaning, not because you have been placed above anyone else, but because you have reached a place where you can no longer continue living as before. You have felt it during recent days, a prompting that is difficult to name, pauses appearing within a busy rhythm, and the awareness that one part of life is quietly preparing to close so that something new can take its place. At times you thought you were simply tired, but the more you tried to return to your familiar way of living, the more you recognized that it no longer fit. This is not condemnation, nor proof that you have been entirely on the wrong road. It is an awakening, asking you to examine your direction before momentum carries you farther. I have not come to make you fear that 1 second of distraction can destroy your future. What is genuinely good is not so fragile that exhaustion, doubt, or a need for time can ruin it. Yet I want you to pay attention, because decisions delayed for too long can keep you trapped in something you already know no longer fits. The urgency here is not a threat. It is mercy telling you that you do not need to endure additional consequences that can be avoided. If a door has repeatedly caused you to lose peace, you do not need to enter once more to confirm that it is not meant for you. If a relationship continually causes you to doubt your worth, you do not need to sacrifice more years waiting for another person to change. I stand between you and impulsive reactions that could pull you back into old cycles. When a word wounds you, I remind you to pause before answering. When an opportunity appears too dazzling, I teach you to investigate before agreeing. When someone returns with familiar promises, I want you to examine their actions instead of listening only to emotion. Protection does not mean that I prevent every challenge from coming near. Often, protection is the clarity that helps you recognize what is happening and choose differently. You are not powerless before the future. You have a voice, the right to establish boundaries, and the ability to leave situations that are no longer healthy. At this very moment, someone with authority may be considering a decision involving you. This may be a manager, partner, client, recruiter, or someone reviewing work you built quietly. You do not need to imagine that they are secretly watching your every step or possessing absolute power over your destiny. They can only make a decision within the boundaries of their role. Your worth does not increase if they choose you, nor disappear if they reject you. Yet what you have done with honesty may be receiving attention in a way you do not yet know. An application you submitted, a recommendation, work you completed, or the way you treated others may be opening a conversation in a room you have never entered. Therefore, prepare instead of panicking. If you are waiting for a professional opportunity, Review what is needed. Update your skills. And become ready to explain the value you bring. If a financial matter needs to be addressed, examine the figures. Make a plan. And seek advice from someone qualified. If you desire clarity in a relationship, identify what you need, what you can no longer accept, and which boundaries must be respected. I do not want you sitting motionless while waiting for a miracle through another person's decision. I want you to cooperate with the future through responsible preparation. Another person's choice may open or close one particular door, but it cannot close your entire path. If the door opens, enter with gratitude and awareness. If it does not open yet, do not treat that as proof that you have been forgotten. Some rejections protect you from places incapable of honoring your gifts and peace. Some delays give you additional time to prepare. At other times, you need to follow up, search for another road, or create a new opportunity instead of waiting endlessly for one person's permission. Your future is greater than any single decision. I know you desire change not only in work or money. You have prayed for restoration in your emotions, health, and the way you see yourself. Yet these areas do not change through one promise heard during an emotional moment. They must be nourished through persistent actions. Peace is strengthened when you rest at the right time. Avoid useless arguments, and seek help when burdens exceed your capacity. Health is cared for by listening to your body, seeking medical attention when unusual signs appear, and refusing to deny real needs. Finances recover through transparency, discipline, and decisions not driven by desperation. Sometimes the miracle is the courage to begin doing what is right after delaying it for too long. Do not believe that one wrong step places your entire future into darkness. You are human, and you can still make mistakes. One unwise choice does not necessarily destroy everything. You can look back, accept responsibility, make corrections, and choose again. The danger is not that you once went the wrong way, but that shame may persuade you that you no longer possess the right to return. I do not guide you through fear. I use truth to help you mature. When you recognize what was wrong, adjust without tormenting yourself. Mercy does not help you escape responsibility. It gives you strength to face responsibility without being crushed by condemnation. If an invitation, message, or call surprises you in the coming days, do not immediately treat it as confirmation of everything you imagined. Ask clear questions, verify the information, and give yourself time to consider. Do not send money, provide private information, or sign an agreement merely because someone claims the opportunity will disappear immediately. Something healthy can withstand honest questions. A person with good intentions will respect your right to think. Wisdom does not oppose faith. It helps you protect what has been entrusted. Remember also that the person with authority to make a decision remains a human being with limitations, pressures, and a particular perspective. Do not turn them into a savior, and do not make them an enemy if the outcome differs from your hopes. Treat them respectfully without diminishing yourself. You can present your value clearly without begging for recognition. You can desire a door without exchanging your dignity to enter it. And you can walk away peacefully if you recognize that a place cannot respect what you carry. What I want to shake awake within you is not a frightening secret about someone observing you. It is the truth that you no longer need to live as though every good thing depends upon permission from outside. You spent too many years waiting for others to see, understand, and choose you. Now you need to learn how to choose yourself. Choose health over exhaustion, truth over the appearance of peace, and growth over familiar patterns that cause pain. When you begin living this way, external recognition becomes something to appreciate, but it no longer remains your source of life. My beloved child, stay with these words, not because you fear a miracle will be redirected if you leave, but because you need to remember that you have the right to enter the future with a calm mind. No message can make decisions in your place. No person can own your entire destiny, and no disappointment can erase abilities built over many years. What is approaching may be a significant opportunity, but even more important is that you have become steady enough to receive it without losing yourself. Prepare for change with open eyes and feet grounded in reality. Do today's work well. Protect your boundaries. Care for your health. And do not allow impatience to lead you into unwise agreements. If the door opens, enter humbly. If it is delayed, continue developing rather than sinking into doubt. I remain beside you in either outcome. My protection does not guarantee that everything will unfold according to your desires, but it reminds you that you can pass through any result without losing your worth. Compassion or direction. Now, breathe slowly and allow false urgency to leave you. You do not need to race against time in order to prove your worth. You need only to remain honest, alert, and prepared to take the next step. What belongs to your growth will not be withheld because of one distracted second. It will meet you as you live responsibly. Recognize your value and stop giving fear authority. I stand beside you not to promise that every door will open, but to ensure that whichever door opens, you will possess enough discernment to know whether it is truly where you should enter. My beloved child, the feeling of being different that has followed you through a long season is not evidence that you were rejected. It may be a sign that you are being prepared to enter a life no longer limited by the approval of the crowd. For years you tried to fit in, adjusted your words, concealed your thoughts, and made your deepest desires smaller so that you would not become the outsider. You watched other people find their place easily, while you often felt as though you were standing outside a door no one thought to open. There were times when you wondered whether something was wrong with you, whether your sensitivity, perspective, and different desires were burdens that made you difficult to understand. But today, I want you to stop using your inability to fit old places as proof that you belong nowhere. Perhaps you have not yet found the right space because you are being led toward one that requires a level of honesty you were previously afraid to express. The solitude you carried was not always punishment. Some quiet seasons protected you from becoming too deeply attached to people who could not walk with you for long. Some seasons alone taught you how to hear your own voice again after living for years according to the expectations of others. When the crowd stopped telling you who to become, you began recognizing what was truly valuable, which beliefs had been planted by fear, and which path brought clarity to your heart. I am not saying that solitude was always easy. I saw the nights when you longed for someone who could understand you without endless explanation. Yet during those nights, you learned that another person's presence could never replace the relationship you needed to build with your own inner life. You do not need to press a button or subscribe to a channel in order to prove that you are connected to heavenly guidance. I do not record your loyalty through notification bells, follower counts, or whether you appear before every message. Genuine connection is preserved through the way you live, whether you create time to become still, recognize what is taking away your peace, and possess the courage to change direction when the old road no longer fits. No important word meant for you will be lost because it did not appear upon your screen. What I want is for you not to miss the calling being expressed through your growth, new boundaries, and the desire to live honestly that becomes stronger each day. I know your heart has carried a heaviness that is difficult to describe. You may complete your work, hold conversations, and appear normal, while deep within you still sense that something demands change. You are no longer satisfied by shallow conversations, connections that exist only when someone needs your help, or environments requiring you to pretend in order to be accepted. Things that once entertained you are no longer deep enough. People you once struggled to hold on to no longer fit the rhythm of your growth. This does not mean that you have become arrogant or cold. It means you are beginning to understand that your time, peace, and sincerity cannot continue being given to places that do not know how to value them. The version of yourself that tried only to survive has completed its purpose. That person helped you endure difficult days, taught you how to withstand pain, remain silent, and continue even when no strength remained. Be grateful for that endurance, but do not force yourself to remain forever in survival mode. You were not created only to wake up, fulfill obligations, and wait for another day to pass. I am calling you to learn how to truly live, to experience joy without guilt, rest without calling yourself lazy, receive help, and build what gives life meaning. A new life begins when you stop taking pride in your ability to endure everything and learn instead to choose what does not require you to suffer until exhaustion. Yet your mind will often seek a way back to what is familiar. It may remember a relationship that hurt you while whispering that at least you knew how to behave there. It may make you want to return to the old environment because the future is still unclear. What is familiar can feel safe even when it repeatedly took away your peace. Therefore, do not be surprised when one part of you wants to move forward while another longs to return to what you already know. This does not mean you chose wrongly. It means you are standing between two rhythms of life. The old one, predictable but narrow, and the new one, uncertain but spacious enough for growth. Recent instability does not necessarily mean that your life is falling into chaos. You may be in a period when former foundations no longer fit, while what is new has not yet fully taken shape. This transition often creates emptiness. You do not want to return to who you were, but you do not yet know exactly who you are becoming. Be patient with yourself during this season. A seed leaving its old shell does not immediately become a great tree. It must pass through darkness and quietly form roots before anyone can see signs of life. You are the same. What is changing most deeply may not yet be visible outside, but that does not make the process less real. Your heart may be naturally withdrawing from certain places, not because you hate anyone, but because you no longer want to repeat the same cycle. You are beginning to see conversations that always leave you tired, promises that never become actions, and relationships that remain peaceful only when you remain silent about your own needs. Do not cut everything off impulsively, but neither should you ignore a truth that has repeated itself too many times. Wisdom will help you know where an honest conversation is needed, where a clear boundary must be established, and where the time has come to release something peacefully. I do not want you to treat this change as proof that you are above other people. Everyone grows at a different pace. Some can no longer walk with you, but this does not make them evil. Some people are placed within one part of the road rather than the entire journey. Be grateful for whatever good they offered. Learn from what caused pain, and do not bring bitterness into the new chapter. Genuine rising is not built upon proving who was wrong. It is built upon your ability to continue walking without allowing the past to turn your heart into a dry place. Your sensitivity is also increasing. You begin sensing more quickly when something does not fit. But remember that a feeling is an invitation to observe, not a verdict against another person. Examine consistency between words and actions. Give time the opportunity to reveal what you do not yet understand. Do not force yourself to remain where your heart is continually uneasy. But neither should you construct a complete story from one passing emotion. Mature discernment makes you clearer, not more suspicious of everything. It helps you open gradually. Give trust in appropriate measure, and recognize that you have the right to change your decision when new truth is revealed. My beloved child, the season of falling away took many things you once believed you could not live without. People left, plans failed, and images of the future had to be released. You looked at the empty spaces as evidence that you were losing everything. But now you can begin recognizing that some things needed to fall, so your hands would become free to build something new. The season of falling away does not last forever. Eventually, the ground is cleared. The roots grow deep, and life begins rising where there was once only silence. Your rising may not be dramatic. It may begin when you wake up and no longer want to check whether a certain person remembers you. It may be the first time you say no without spending the entire night blaming yourself. It may happen when you return to a forgotten dream, begin learning a new skill, or care seriously for your health. Do not wait for a moment that causes the whole world to look at you. Lasting transitions often occur within ordinary life. When you repeatedly choose what is healthy, even before anyone applauds. Michael, I am reminding you that you do not need to fit former spaces in order to prove that you are still loved. People who belong to your new season will not require you to become smaller. Hide your voice, or return to habits that weaken you. They will respect the peace you worked so hard to build. The right doors will not require you to betray your values in order to enter. What belongs to you may challenge you, but it will not cause you to lose yourself. Move forward without needing to know immediately how the entire next chapter will unfold. You need only remain faithful to the step directly before you. Leave one cycle. Complete one responsibility. Open yourself to help, or allow yourself genuine rest. You are no longer in a season devoted only to falling. What needed to leave has begun completing its purpose. Now life is returning, clarity is growing, and you are being called to rise, not as someone who must prove their worth, but as someone who finally recognizes that acceptance from every place is not required in order to live a meaningful life. Let the new chapter begin with humility, peace, and the decision never to abandon yourself again.